In March, the city of Clovis will hold a municipal election with 6 contested races. The races include 4 city commission seats, 1 magistrate judge position, and the election of a new mayor. Tonight at the Clovis Carver Library, almost all candidates will be able to answer public submitted questions through the Rooney Moon Broadcasting 2020 Political Forum. The whole forum will be broadcasted on Big 1015 starting at 6:30. It will also be available on Big 1015's Facebook page where it will be streaming live. There are a total of 5 candidates running for the mayor position, being vacated by current mayor David Lansford. Early voting started February 4th, and the election will be held on Tuesday, March 3rd. The Clovis Police Department will be conducting sobriety checkpoints and DWI saturation patrols in February. A DWI checkpoint will be conducted this Friday where officers will be specifically targeting alcohol and drug-impaired drivers. Curry and Roosevelt counties are looking at just over $9 million in potential capital outlay dollars for various projects as the state legislation session nears its end. Revisions to the New Mexico's budget plan on Tuesday would set back average teacher raises to 4% instead of 5% and set aside money for the governor's tuition-free college initiative. The Associated Press reported the spending bill from the state Senate's lead budget writing committee increases general fund spending by $536 million, or 7.6% to $7.6 billion for the fiscal year that starts on July 1st. State economists are anticipating an annual windfall of roughly $800 million, linked mainly to oil production. The plan increases spending on college scholarships by $32 million. For the coming year, only 2 college students pursuing certificates and associate degrees are eligible for the tuition-free Opportunity Scholarship. The Senate's version of the budget heads to a floor vote and then back to the House for consideration. A budget is due to the governor by Thursday. Lujan Grisham can veto any portion of the spending bill or the entire bill. During an extensive investigation, state police agents learned on January 23rd a 14-year-old juvenile female disclosed she had been sexually communicating via cell phone through a Snapchat app with a male identified as Joshua G. Rico of Albuquerque, who is the boys' basketball coach at the Pecos High School. The 14-year-old also disclosed Rico had asked her to send him nude photos of herself to him on numerous occasions. Through further investigation, agents learned Rico had sent photos of himself to the 14-year-old via Snapchat and threatened he would expose her by way of social media if sexual demands were not met. Former Democratic House Majority Leader Rick Miura said Monday he is considering running for a crucial Senate seat currently held by retiring Democratic Senator John Sapien. Miura told the Associated Press that he is weighing whether to seek the Democratic nomination for the swing seat that is expected to draw strong interests from the Republicans. Sapien announced Sunday he would not seek re-election to the House seat. New Mexico airports are getting $1.5 million in grant funding. Among the list of airports receiving this funding will be Portales, Carlsbad, Hatch, Deming, Carrizozo, Gallup, and Espanola. The investment is part of a $520 million national grant for the nation's airports. A Roswell man and his mother have been arrested in connection to a fatal shooting that took place on Tuesday afternoon. The Roswell Police Department reports that while the suspects have been arrested in connection to the deaths of the victim, the homicide investigation remains active at this time. 20-year-old Robert Ortega III was found dead in the bedroom of a house located on the 300 block of East Church Street after officers responded to the scene at 2:15 p.m. Ortega suffered at least 2 gunshot wounds. Ortega's roommate, 20-year-old Daniel Joseph Sosa, and Sosa's mother, 41-year-old Danny Jo Sosa, were also at the residence. Both mother and son were taken to the police station where they were interviewed by investigators. Authorities say around 4 a.m. on Wednesday, while the Sosas were still detained at the police station, Daniel Sosa was arrested and charged with aggravated battery, tampering with evidence, and marijuana possession. Danny Jo Sosa was also arrested and charged with tampering with evidence and marijuana possession. Roswell police say that depending on further results of the investigation, both Daniel and Danny may face additional charges. New Mexico's Democrat-led legislature is haggling over annual spending priorities while racing to lock in significant policy initiatives on public safety, education funding, and incentives for infrastructure investments as a 30-day annual legislative session winds down. The state Senate was scheduled on Wednesday to vote on revisions to a $7.6 billion plan for the fiscal year starting July 1st that hikes spending on public schools by $260 million and increases salaries for most teachers and state employees by 4%. A surge in oil production has provided an $800 million increase in state general fund income. For more news as it happens, click yournewsnm.com.